What does the average person's day look like? First of all, they wake up, right? And usually, unless you have a gratitude practice first thing in the morning, which I recommend, a lot of people don't. They wake up worried about the stressors of the day, thinking about what I have to do today. Oh, I got to hurry. I got to do this. I got to go there. I got
Getting on
this
their
work.
phone.
Or boom, turn on the phone, go right to social media, go right to the news, go right to something where they're immediately stimulating some kind of sympathetic response, right? Some kind of,
or their emails or text messages, and all that's in there is people wanting something of you. So you're already,
or you're looking
you've
at
already
things
given
that
up
show
your
you
day.
you're not good enough, or you don't have enough likes, or you don't have this or that, right? Immediately, very often you're going right to, so you're starting off with one foot backwards, first thing in the morning. Then maybe you're rushing to work, or rushing to pick up the kids, or rushing to drop the kids off, or do something, kind of rushing in the morning, feeling that anxiety, not taking that time in the morning for yourself, for your spiritual practice. So very often, and I'm not speaking to everybody, but we're talking majority of people, right? And then majority of people still, then they go to a job that they really don't like, or they don't feel a lot of purpose in. They have people that they have to associate with that they really don't enjoy. They're driving through traffic and they're feeling stressed about traffic and somebody else cutting them off, and now they're pissed off at them or whatever, and checking social media and then seeing the next war, the next drama, the next thing. And then they're going back home and same thing. People are watching the news, they're watching Trump or somebody else, and they're triggering themselves. And then, before they go to sleep, same thing. These thoughts about the day, the worries, the concerns, and then don't sleep very well. They had too much caffeine and not enough rest. And so people's nervous systems are on constant fight or flight or freeze. They're in this constant sympathetic response. So no wonder hormones are running like crazy in our lives. No wonder you got these chronic diseases popping up at such higher rates. No wonder that life feels overwhelming and stressed out and anxious constantly. We have to take control of our day. We have to take control of our mind. We have to take control of our nervous system if we want to live with more peace and happiness and contentment in our lives.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I will say I have a lot of beautiful practices, more intentional practices like breath work in the sauna, but it's the mini breath throughout the day that I forget. Like that exercise was so amazing for me. I what I'll usually do is go outside and walk in nature, and that's
Yes.
such a beautiful regulating strategy for me. And I love walking, I love moving my body, and I love being outside. So for me, that's kind of the thing I'll do, and I'll be more mindful about the 5 in, 5 out. That was the one thing I walked away with Nestor's book, Breathe, is how we're supposed to be breathing in 5 seconds, out 5 seconds, all the time. And I was like, who is doing that? But it's a practice that our bodies are really designed for. So that's usually when I'll do it. But having these little mini moments of breath, I'm usually doing jump squats and mountain climbers in between my interviews.
Right, which gets your blood flowing and energy up in circulation, which is good also. But especially as we age, it's actually more important to keep our parasympathetic activated more often than our sympathetic. And you'll find that with specific breathwork practices, you'll have more energy and more clarity than doing physical exercises. So physical activity is so important, right, at any age, but especially as we age, it's so essential. But there is a point at which intensity becomes too intense. That intensity, high intensity, which is the big craze right now. That, oh, we got to have more HIIT training, more high intensity, more all this stuff. It lasts longer and all that. But when you're in fight or flight, your nervous system's on overdrive, you're already stressed out. More intensity is not good for you. More sauna, more HIIT, more cold baths, more high intensity actually is just tearing your system down more and more. And then you wonder why. Oh, you wake up, you don't have energy. You have to have another shot of caffeine. You have to do some more exercise to try and get your energy up. But then you're 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., you feel like you need a nap. Like that is not our natural state. Our natural state is actually energetic majority of the time, but not like wired, like energetic, just clear-minded with clear energy.
I love this beautiful reminder because I think I always lend to, well, let me energize myself through movement when I could just be really taking a moment and kind of breathing in that energy.
This is another thing that people can do is after your meals, or at least one meal of the day, is go outside for a walk and try to be around nature. Hopefully there's nature around your neighborhood. But the key is leave the phone at home. Leave the phone at home or put it on airplane mode, like in case you have an emergency or something, if you're walking a long distance. But otherwise, leave it at home. And then, and I post these little walk ideas on, I have an Instagram called Meditation with Nathan, where I post all these free, short little 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute things, walking meditations, different breathwork practices, different pranayamas that people can just save and do on a regular basis as a reminder. But walking mindfully out in nature after a meal is so good for digestion, metabolism, immune system response, being out in nature, breathing fresh air, calming the system. Usually we eat and then we just want to sit and relax. It's the worst thing you can do after you eat. Or we eat and then people go and exercise. That's also the worst thing you can do. Or eat and then meditate. You also don't want to do that. You want to meditate or do breath work before you eat. You want to do these things before, so that way your body can put its energy into digestion and metabolism. These things actually can slow down, like meditation slows down metabolism, so you don't want to meditate right after you eat. You want to do it before you eat or a couple hours after you eat. But going out and just walking mindfully in nature and just observing, like observe the mind, observe how it jumps around all over the place at different things. And the more you start observing these things, the more you start getting control of this monkey mind, and it's easier to direct it in the ways that you want it to be. It's easier to have more peace in your life. But when you're constantly on your phone, I just went for a walk. I only had like 15 minutes before our call here, so I had lunch and then went for a walk. And as I'm walking, it's like I see two people walking by and their heads down on the phone like this, walking outside with headphones on. And it's just like, this is, again, constantly distracting your mind, keeping you out of the present moment, keeping your system very often in sympathetic. So put it aside, enjoy the nature, and try and be a little more present. And that alone is a great practice for nervous system regulation.